This is insane. The Trump administration just said that they are now looking at ways to deport American citizens. You gotta hear this.
So the president has discussed this idea quite a few times publicly. He's also discussed it privately. You're referring to the president's idea for American citizens to potentially be deported. These would be heinous, violent criminals who have broken our nation's laws repeatedly. The president has said if it's legal, right? If there is a legal pathway to do that, he's not sure. We are not sure if there is. It's an idea that he has simply floated and has discussed very publicly as in the effort of transparency.
Girl, why knows he said that Donald Trump is trying to deport American citizens? Where he gonna send us? No, seriously, like, where are you gonna send American citizens that were born here? Who is gonna take us? So they said it's gonna be like the hardened criminals, like the repeat offenders, the I guess like aggressive criminals. I'm so confused. Like, I think there's not enough stuff going on at the White House because he just coming up with anything. Because if you deport a criminal that came from another country, that's their original country. But if you're going to deport a criminal from America, who's going to openly say, okay, we'll take your troublesome people and bring them to our country? I don't know. I don't know a lot about politics. I really don't, but it just don't make sense. Like, what? But I know what the problem is. Melania ain't giving him none. But why are you taking that out on us?
Now, I have heard crazy things from the orange man, but this one tops it all. No, because apart from him literally wanting to agitate black people, who is he going to deport? Because it doesn't look to me that he's about to deport white people, because he actually wants to bring in more white people from South Africa to come to America, and he gives them a good life on whose money? On American citizenship's money. Okay? You know what? Let's go ahead and see what people gotta say.
Take a look at this real quick.
You're referring to the president's idea for American citizens to potentially be deported. These would.
You heard that right. She said you're referring to the idea that American citizens could potentially be deported. She started out by saying that it was something that Fearless Leader has discussed more than once, that it's an idea that he's floating around. Then she goes on to justify it by trying to say that these would be violent offenders of the most heinous crimes, but we know what would happen. It would be the same thing that's already happening. It would only be illegal immigrants that were deported. But, oh, that one guy that we picked up in El Salvador, that was a mistake. It would only be violent offenders that would be deported. But, oh, you know what? These college students that were protesting against my policies, a couple of them got sent over, and that was a mistake. And we're not going to do anything about it. And that would continue to happen. And then they would justify it by saying, oh, well, they were inciting violence. They were doing this. They were doing that. American citizens are American citizens. Are American citizens. Period. End of story. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Are we so weak that we can't handle our own criminals? Because that's the first implication. We can't deal with our own criminals, so we're going to send them to another country so that country can deal with them, because we're not strong enough and we're not capable enough to do it ourselves. That's problem number one. That's implication number one. Implication number two is, how do you people not see this is World War II Germany all over again? It makes no sense. How is it not? It's blinding. It's fucking blinding. I can't even hardly talk about it anymore. I can't decide what content to make because there's just so God blessed much of it. How do you people not see this? How do you still support this man when he's talking about deporting American citizens? American citizens. American citizens. You don't need to go any further than that. I don't want to hear your reasons. I don't want to hear your excuses. I don't want to hear your justifications. American fucking citizens, period, full stop. I don't care if they're criminals. I don't care who they are. I don't care what they've done. You are trying to set a precedent of deporting American citizens. And if you don't see the fucking problem with that, I don't know what to tell you. We've been saying this was coming. We've been saying this is what it was leading to the entire time, since before you voted him into office. But you know what? she had a weird laugh.
American citizens can be sent to jail in El Salvador by our government. There will be no recourse for you to be freed. I'm a lawyer in real life. I don't play one on television, and we have to talk about what is happening right now, where the American government is setting up the legal precedent for U.S. citizens to be sent to El Salvador in prison, and there's nothing you will be able to do to be brought back to America. As part of the immigration crackdown, the Trump administration rounded up an El Salvadoran citizen, sent that person to El Salvador, and the person was placed in the notorious prison in El Salvador. Now, that may not seem like a problem, but the problem is that in 2019, the same individual was granted an order from a court in the United States that said he could not be sent to El Salvador. So it was an error on the part of the Trump administration to send him there. They have acknowledged this error. But the Trump administration refuses to bring the person back from El Salvador. And now a judge has ordered them to bring this individual back from El Salvador, and the Trump administration has appealed to the United States Supreme Court. Let me explain to you why, if the United States Supreme Court says this man does not have to be brought back from El Salvador, U.S. citizens can find themselves in the exact same position. So this is the Trump administration's argument that they cannot instruct the government or the executive branch, the president, to bring someone back to the United States when they have been sent to a foreign country. And their argument is that the Constitution only gives the president the power to negotiate with foreign countries. And that is true. Now, they refer specifically to the district court, but without saying it, they are also implying that there is no court, not a district court, not a court of appeals, and not the Supreme Court of the United States that could order the president to bring this person back to the U.S. Here's how this argument affects me and you, United States citizens. According to this argument, if the Trump administration were to arrest United States citizens, say people who are protesting outside of a Tesla dealership, send them to El Salvador to be in prison. Once you are on foreign soil, they are arguing that a court cannot then order the administration to bring you back. Because at that point, once you're on foreign soil, the only person, according to the Trump administration, who then has the authority to negotiate with a foreign government to try to get your release from this foreign government would be the government that sent you there, would be the Trump administration. So can you now understand how this could be such a dangerous precedent? So today they are sending immigrants to a foreign prison. Tomorrow, if this ruling is allowed, it could be U.S. citizens sent to a foreign prison. Courts will not be able to do anything about it. So far, the Supreme Court has not ruled, but the Supreme Court has paused the district court's order to bring this person back. So what happens is going to be very important, because it is either going to give the Trump administration the green light to continue and to go further, or it's going to slow them down. It's going to tell them that this is not acceptable.
Because I'm really thinking, when people wake up and come on the internet and defend Trump, do you think they first sit there and think about the things that this man is doing, what he has done, and the things that he's intending on doing? No, because how do you wake up and defend a man on the internet that says he is going to deport Americans? Clearly, that could be you. And so far, what we have seen with this man, like, the orange man doesn't care if you voted for him, literally. Because I've been seeing white poor people being thrown under the bus because they're not billionaires. I think one thing that has not even crossed my mind until now is, where is he going to ship these people to? Okay, you're an American citizen, generations and generations, and you have a crime. We're gonna deport you to where? Jamaica, or where? If it's the whites, then it's back to Europe. Who else is gonna deport? If he's not gonna deport his white people, who else is he going to deport? These Chinese peasants, the way J.D. Vance says, is it the ones that he wants to deport back to China? Or who?